Welcome to the jungle. We've got fun and games. We've got everything you want and a bunch of teams where we all know the names. Let's see where they look to drop. Let's see what kind of early action will we see kicking off. Look, Northern Plains Directory, haven't really talked about it because you don't really need to on Sandhawk. That phase 1 circle is definitely going to be crucial. If it hits all 3 islands, it's going to make things a little bit harder for teams. But if it stays majority on the mainland, that's going to be, in my eyes, a sigh of relief for all these teams.
See how things are going to be going down. No chance, you know what? No chance taking their chance of going towards actually boot camp. Going to be having Box around there, Morph too. Morph, I mean, we're there, but now we're going to be turning off the music and fixing on the gameplay. Oh my god, okay, already some early action happening over here in boot camp. I mean, the death sentence can be spent on a few of these teams if they do go around here early on. So hopefully, not too many teams will go down early in this game. They're going to be having Box just unfortunately having PMI knocked away. Louis could still come around and get the res, but Zai 4S in definitely a little bit of a precarious situation. But still, the pressure's applied. There's no chance, even though they got the best building, which is the U-shaped building in the middle of boot camp.
Yeah.
They're getting.
The thing is that they can utilize both the low ground and the high ground, and even of course there's risk to put the roof to get that little bit of information. So we have 3 teams in boot camp. Let's keep an eye on that. But in Paradise Resort, we also have 2 teams coming through. That's going to be Valdez and Megastars. Megastars had a good game 1 coming in 4th place. Let's see if they can carry it forward, but not before Joni is looking to shut down Megastars.
Sports. I think they had a lucky star above their heads last game. I did not know how they rotated through the fields down south of Yasnaya was a Yasnaya finish. Definitely some really interesting and surprising things. You know what? In talking about like weird rotations, definitely rotating around, really risky. It's really hard to just move away from that location without taking big casualties. They're going to be having Encore going for a really wide split. I love that position. It's so high ground too.
Yes. And
those are like why around the area of Paradise is always so interesting because you've got so much terrain on such a small area. It makes your gameplay like very vertically based.
Plus, he can actually just basically backtrack down that rock to disengage away and then wrap around on the low ground of that hill to meet up with the rest of his team. But it's got to be important that he, of course, times it perfectly as Martin is sending himself a little bit forward. Encore is doing his best to stave off the pressure being put onto by Valdez Esports. Valdez Esports formerly Illuminate the Murder. Different name, so to speak, but same level of incredibly intelligent play.
Going wrap around potentially. MC and Paradox here just going to be cornered up. Players of Valdez Esports, and here it is. They're going to go for the push. Unfortunately, only got 4 bandages, and I will have time to use them. Not sure, just 1-2 bullets, and that will be game over. Definitely very unlucky on the loot there, because 2 teams, unfortunately, can't get fully looted over here in Paradise Resort. Well, at least it's really hard, and you have to get pretty lucky on the spawn rates. Definitely, when you're contested on here, it's never really a good presage for the rest of the game.
And I also love the fact that Valdez are just taking their time, because it is incredibly hard to play around and engage around Paradise Resort because there's so many little dips and hills coming through. But a second knockdown comes indeed from Valdez Esports. And now as Encore tries to become the Encore, do you want more? Or are you going to shut down Valdez Esports?
Oh, oui. Actually, it's French word, Imperium. I'm sorry. Did you know it's French, by the way? And I don't know if people realize it's a French word. Oh, you go. Okay, good job. Oh, wow. Wow, indeed, okay. Cultured indeed, yes. I mean, there, if you go now, some few grenades will be coming out. Megastars definitely on the back foot. Wasn't even trade-off for the early stage, but now, unfortunately, I think the Megastars definitely do want to give this one up. But Nova, godlike. They're going to be, unfortunately, going down in last position last game. Hopefully, this one will be a complete U-turn. Yeah, nice knockdown, pretty long distance, but it's actually not going to be for themselves. Another team is going to be joining the fray, so definitely a little bit of third party potentially happening in War's Quarry. Here it is, behind Team Secret, the winners of last game, game number 1 on the green pastures of Erangel. Great game, 11 kills. And they repeat that amount of success on the green areas of Sandhawk.
Of course. Godlike. They signed Vampire from Orange Rock. They did lose Gil to Orange Rock, though, in the process. At the end of the day, it's still going to be up to them as a team to continue improving, evolving, build up their city. Take the isolation of these scrims. Game 1 going out in 16th place. Game 2 inside Sandhawk. They want to go up against the winners of game 1. They've already got 1 kill. And now it's Vampire OP looks to take the bite of the neck and knocks down High.
High down, nice response from Matoy though. Definitely the player was allowing his team to get the chicken dinner last game by that push and the parkour plays. And there you go, 1 kill confirmed by Matoy with a headshot, even with a 9 sight on the AK, but here it is now. 2 players of Nova. Forward, you're gonna be chucked on it. Oh man, that grenade was just going left, right, but there you go.
Right.
But there he gets the knockdown. Yeah, it still worked on Rakes there. Now it's going to be remaining on 1 player. Another grenade will be coming out, getting some nice tick damage down onto Zist. Will be going for a second attempt, but not a grenade this time. A smoke to buy some time. And now, unfortunately, he's also got no meds. He's got absolutely nothing. He's going to have to remain with like the 15 health he's got currently. 1 bullet and it's game over.
The only thing is that there is still a couple of players of Team Secret that could come in from behind, but now as Mad Toy gets behind a rock, Zist is looking for him, going to look to pre-fire those shots through the window. He has support from Cronton and Rayad, who did get revived up.
It's because unfortunately Mad Toy was not going fast enough, but I understand why you don't want to go fast when you have like such low health. Going to go for the early spray once again with the AK red dot. 1 bullet, that's all I mentioned earlier. They need it and they will get it swiftly confirmed. Stab and high shots getting taken down. Nova, godlike, with the early godlike plays, and there you go, 5 kills on the count for them, and after a really good start, taking down the winners of game number 1.
But here's the thing, like, Mad Toy did such incredible work to stave off the pressure of Nova godlike. Where was the rest of his team? You know, you gotta be able, you either provide the support and actually look to engage onto a team like that, or you disengage away from fully. The communication should have been there from Mad Toy to say to the rest of the team, hey, look, they're all here. You either join up and take this fight, or you disengage away. But instead, they kind of let Mad Toy go down, and then they actually rotated in the direction where the rest of Nova godlike were. That was definitely poor play from Team Secret, especially off the back of winning game 1.
I think Austin just saw the Orm there and he was like, okay, now what? Orm on Sandhog, not to shot. We're going to be pretty close. More of the OP grenades game 1. Back into action. Well, action, going with the SKS. I believe they hit a few shots there onto No Mercy. Unfortunately, not going to get anything extra out of that. Yeah, Morph definitely got a really good high ground position. If I were Valdez Esports, I would just leave it. I don't really see the use in staying in this position. You've got no compound. You could get also cornered up by teams on the other side of the road. Also, teams are going to be up north of you. So definitely Valdez Esports, they got everything
aware of and very, very careful of is the fact that Phase 1 circle was so nicely towards the mainland, and those 2 teams did land in boot camp, that they could have a very strong risk against third party. So definitely, of course, keep an eye on each other, but also be aware that there could easily be a team coming in from another direction. You want to keep the pressure off yourself, but also want to make sure that you are not allowing teams from another side to put pressure on you. But now as Martin pushes his way forward up the hill towards Morph,
I'm surprised that Valdez Esports actually going for that push. That is a very ballsy move. Martin does get himself to the rock. I'm surprised they were able to actually make it up there. And now grenade going to be cooked up by Martin, but no, he gets cornered on the right side. It will be a one-on-one trade-off. XE, No Mercy, got to push a little bit further back, allow Franzi to potentially just snake his way back up to his teammates. Smokes are going to be definitely necessary, and Arbjo making his way forward. Car going to be used by Velmoth to push on forward. Martin could still get res back up. He is safe for the time being. I think they've got to focus on the res before fully committing. If they do that, they'll also potentially allow Frenzy to get res back up by No Mercy.
Yeah, Armjoni did try to cook up a grenade, but it didn't work out too much. Didn't go too heavily in the direction. But the revive is coming through on both sides. Yeah. So it's kind of overall even Stevens coming into the 10-minute mark of this game, Max.
Definitely interesting action. Phase 1 circle, just about to close up to Phase 2. Interested to see where Phase 2 might actually take us, but indeed the res will come on through, and there you go. Thank you, production crew. The circle pops up. It's going to be actually sitting in land. Not really a big change. You know, Megastars, you're going to have BTR, going to have to move a little bit in. Even Kelts are going to have to move away from Kampong. Really easy entry point from those other teams that are currently not in circles. So, really, this is not going to have a huge influence on these teams. Phase 3 is when the true action is about to come up.
Look at all the teams around Quarry. If that next phase shifts towards the west, it's going to be trouble for the likes of more so Synergy and Nova Godlike, but definitely for TSM Entity and Box, because Celts could rotate from the south side and come basically the north of Cave and third party the likes of TSM Entity. So that's just something to think of. I don't know how they'll rotate, but that is definitely somewhere they could go.
Definitely something you want to try and keep in your minds going into this. Once again, Kampong team Celts is going to be having to rotate. They took a lot of time. They got involved in absolutely zero fights in this early stage. They got looted up, which was not the case, unfortunately, on their very first game going into Erangel. So they had a little bit. They were just forcefully pushed into a fight with like M16s. Not great weapons in the early stage. The kill feed slowly lighting up Imperium.
Yeah.
Interesting potential players coming out. Hopefully we'll be shitting over there very soon to catch up on the action.
Yeah, it seems like Nova Godlike, after taking down the winners of Game 1, maybe just feeling a bit more confident, though they did lose a player in the hands of Vampire OP, at least. Putting the hurt onto TSM Entity, and TSM Entity haven't really had the strongest of starts of these games, right? The first two games haven't really lit up, but that's what we know TSM Entity to be at times, right? Where they'll kind of have a couple of poor games, but then they'll just bounce back and get a 20 kill game with the chicken dinner. So, and plus, because of the fact that these are scrims, honestly, I believe they know exactly what they're doing, and they're indeed just not really worrying too much about these games.
Exactly, like it's just a training ground, just trying out different strats. And you know what, maybe they won't work out, but that's fine. It's just training. You've got nothing really to play around for these scrim sessions. It's just absolute training, and also getting used to how other teams will play and respond in actual competitive settings. Long spray for Neo from TSM Entity will be coming out. And for she lost Clutch God very early on in this game, very unfortunate. There will be down to Zed God, Neo, and Jonathan. Now here it is, Valdus. They're going to go actually form another fight, and this is going to be actually against Freestars, pushing up on the mountaintop Imperium.
Yeah, Valdus just looking to prone down a little bit. They are a three-man team. Freestyle are full squad.
They're not well positioned.
So Freestyle put in a pretty good work in Game 1 in my eyes. Max coming in from the east, putting the hurt onto BTR. Let's see if they can do the same to Valdus in this game too.
They're really not in a position to take a fight. They're not really ready to try to apply pressure on the southern side. Gonna actually Valdus Esports get themselves closer and closer to the compound. They hear the footsteps for sure. You can see it where they're all looking at. It's out. Velmoth, if he gets peeked out. Even Martin in the distance is just running randomly, potentially giving his information away. Black, I think, is going to attempt to peek very early on, as he's just going to be leaning on his left side, gathering information. But no, actually, Black will be the first casualty, going down, knocked away by Valdus Esports. And now it is Velmoth going to be kicking things into action. Funny having three members, still really confident on the push. You might want to go and confirm the kill onto Black. Try and just make a Freestyle rethink if they want to take this fight head on versus Valdus Esports.
What I love about Valdus is that instantly they get a knock, they look to engage, they look to capitalize on that. And that is a strong sign of a damn strong team, as a grenade's going to be cooked on both sides. Malik has to disengage away after hearing the trigger, the pull of the pin from the opposing players in through the building. Malik from the underground, just in between the ridges, is going to be able to get the work done, and Belmont just confirms the kill onto Black.
I'm seeing the team coming from the backside, and I believe that is BTR going for the third party Imperium, but still Valdus Esports, they're kicking things into action, but to no avail, and there you go, BTR, the backstab of the century, securing himself a bunch of frags, and now they're going to try and pick up the remaining members of the opposing side of Freestyle, and no way, Jose! BTR, your world champion, secured himself a bunch of frags once again, and shutting down this fight with a third party.
And that's what Sandhawk is about. If you don't close out the engagements quickly enough, you're going to pay the price. And what did I say about the circle shift, by the way? If it went to the west, it was going to hurt the teams around the quarry areas. The fight between Nova Godlike and King of Gamers starting to kick off. Rayed is knocked down. This just trying to hold on against a full squad of King of Gamers.
Gamers trying their best to make it happen over here. They've still got 4 players remaining. That is huge, but now they're finally going to be losing their first one. That's going to be Puffer down. 3 players still in play. Concept trying his best, but maybe you want to try and jump out of the building eventually, but unfortunately that will not be going their way. Nova Godlike, once again, not going to make it anywhere above top 10. They'll be going out in 11th position. And I was surprised actually seeing that Kings of Gamers Club did not actually push out of the building. They were playing very safe. I think that there they should have been a little bit more confident and took it in their own hands. But still, the attempt was really good, and King of Gamers going to secure himself a bunch of frags on Godlike.
Yeah, but still a better game looking at
yeah, sure.
When you're going from game to game at the end of the day, you know. And that's all we can kind of at least go for by now, right? It's the only thing we can really take into account is the fact that they're going from game to game. It also is a different map as well. Sonic is the kind of map where you do need to be aggressive. You need to be able to execute your team fights. So I'm expecting the likes of BTR, Valdus, and TSM Entity to get some pretty strong results when it comes to the World League East in this Sandhawk map, as Synergy, as a full squad, just synergize our way into the circle into strong position. Let's see if they can at least add a couple of kill points to their name as they're down to 10 teams and 37 players.
Yes, they got the high ground right next to King of Gamers, the one that 5 is godlike. Lucky enough, they were able to get the rest back onto Puffer also, so everyone's going to be back to full health. Now they're also making their way towards the box. They see them on the mountainside. There's a few rocks, a good, nice little bit of terrain to like behind which they can actually hide. So hopefully Box will not scout them out. Never know. At this point, just a few pixels out of place will alert Box and potentially allow them to take the entirety of this fight for themselves.
We did see Box go down to the hands of a single grenade in game 1. I don't think it's going to be the same in game 2 because of the lack of compounds in Sandhawk, but either way, they will want to be wary of that utility being thrown out by an opposing team, as BTR have 4 kills to their name coming in from the northeast edge of the circle through Paradise Resort and Hill. They do hold on to a little bit of a high ground, but also is that mix of low ground where they can just dip behind, get a little bit of information. They're inside the circle. They don't have to push too far forward. Just look out for a couple of pixels out of place.
Exactly, BTR, the low ground. We talked about it right around Paradise Resort. Always a tricky area to play around. Vexy's got the high ground. Vexy is going to go for the Vexy sexy plays. We'll have to see how we're going to be panning over, actually. Over to Box and King of Gamers, which is a fight we mentioned that could be potentially breaking out. And actually is because King of Gamers was actually pushing on the position of Box grenades. 1, 2, 3. There you have it. Absolutely popping the hell off with those nades. Another one right towards Liu. Is that grenade going to be on point? He did take a little bit of tick damage right there. They do get extra knock on PMI behind it. He's going to be alone now. Going to have to take care of that fight potentially on his own on the forefront. He's still got one player a little bit further back, but I think he's healing up himself. Yeah. But definitely the grenades absolutely on point from King of Gamers, but unfortunately not quite able to end the fight prematurely.
Out in the open, in a building, Box Game is still susceptible to a couple of grenades as Loy looks to just push back down. Both these teams are inside the circle. We did also see Vexy get put couple of little bit of hurt onto BTR, but they couldn't survive, so that's going to be the end, I believe, of Megastars. And on a side note, I heard that that inspiration of experiment with the Vexy sexy.
Vexy say, I mean, you have to. Experiment is like, I'm going to say my dad, but it's also your dad. You know, it's our dad, Imperium of us all. Experiment, an absolute legend of a caster. Much love. I hope he's proud and he's watching right now. But now, Synergy, you know, they got himself the nice high ground position. The thing is, right, they're not in circle. They're going to have to tumble downhill, and that's going to make things a little bit tricky because going downhill, especially on an area known as Sandhawk, where teams can be lurking at any area of the map, it does make things a little bit tricky. So hopefully Synergy will not get himself caught out. The better play would not to be through Celts. You want to try and rotate or straight down onto the western side or just down south. I think south would be the better play because you got a road on their west right now. So it would be a little bit tricky for them to make it alive.
Let's hope Celts don't become the jack. But either way, they're going to be able to look try to punish Celts.
It is. They're going to go for G, pushing up grenades of retaliation will come out. It's unfortunately Ted and Austin. And I thought that grenade in the kill feed was actually him. I was like, oh wait, no, just a second. That's another team actually going to be popping up over there for King of Gamers. Once again, King of Gamers grenades absolutely on point in this game. I want to see the Morph grenades come out eventually throughout the board. King of Gamers taking some actually pretty big casualties in the feed. Oh, Grenade's going to be actually jumping right behind Ted, taking quite a bit of damage. 1/3 HP remaining. He's got to jump away. Chaos not relieving the pressure. Looking for one, does get the knockdown, but unfortunately in the building, Austin does get knocked, but that is all he will be able to translate it into. And Chaos going to be picking up their 4th kill, going for the res on Ultron, and they will be successfully taking down Synergy.
Picked the right moment to engage and got the job done. And what was very important about that is because they knew that they were potentially getting third-partied from another team. That's why they hugged the edge of that circle. So they were a little bit more down the dip of the hill so they weren't getting too pressure. But Box Gaming retaliating against King of Gamers. They're going to throw their way in. Nice double trouble play from Box Gaming to take down King of Gamers. And also, they're in a compound well inside the circle.
indeed, looking pretty central. A few teams going to have to fight. You also see yourself TSM Entity. They're going to be trying to defend all of the West, and they're going to be versus Team IND. Going to be starting Kratos of IND that's going to try and rotate down south, avoiding the confrontation. You do not want to mess up with the players of TSM Entity. So you know what? If that was me, I would also do the exact same. Just walk around if you can avoid fighting them directly. But careful now, the high ground going to be in favor. I believe there is no chance up there. That is indeed going to be the case, and it will be a 4v2, but they're just going to be sending 2 players up there. They want to keep their eyes pried open to check out what's going to be happening actually in circle so they can look a little bit further beyond phase 5.
If you remember in game 1, TSM, I believe at one point we were down to 2 players, and they were able to protect that compound against Synergy.
Yeah.
It's not quite a compound, but as a 2-man team, TSM Entity can at times feel like a full squad. That's how good individually they are. That's how synergized they seem to be at times.
And the God going up. They lost Jonathan and Clutch God. Clutch God died actually really early on. Not sure how, unfortunately, get taken out very fast for them. Right, they're going to be actually trying to just crawl their way into the circle. The mollies will be coming out. I think that potentially no chance have an idea of what's happening, but I think that molly's going to be indeed a little bit too delayed and not even on point there. Going to be a little bit too far away from there. And Zed here it is, taking a fight to see Kratos, the last member of Team IND. He's going to be actually suffering some blue zone tick damage very soon. Imperium no phase 5 tickles a little bit more. You want to try and avoid staying in there for too long because you can't tank it for an elongated period of time.
Definitely putting No Chance team on a bit of a pedestal in my eyes. Like I said, the wildcard qualified team. I was curious about what they would do and how they would be against these top teams. And I know they are just scrims, but in my eyes, they're impressing us right now. Heavily impressing us.
Can do statements in this type of games, just show what people should be prepared to see. West Circle did actually shift to northeast, actually just having Morph in a pretty good position. Morph, if they can go central position there on the high ground, they have a big opportunity of taking this game. Box going to have to move away from their compound, then you got one building, and I don't think you want to focus all the players on one building up north there. The reason why? Predictability. Grenades have been so good from Morph. If grenades come out of Morph onto Box, I don't think they'll be able to make it out alive, because one building, you can just spray 3 grenades and you basically cover the entire building, and that will be game over.
Before Morph can focus on that, they've got to try to take down Kels.
No!
As Ultron unfortunately does bleed out. And it's a matter of hello darkness, my old friend. And what I love about Morphs is that they're not only narrow-minded in one direction, they're looking across the rest of the circle. They know that it's shifting in their favor, therefore teams are coming towards them. So very well played by Morph so far, coming into late stages of this game.
I think it was just a question of time, really, here, Imperium, that we were going to lose Kratos. Team IND out in 6th position, 5 teams now in a play. TSM Entity, still surprisingly enough, dealing with the pressure despite not having a great position, but now it's going to be the eyes focused onto Morph. They got the good high ground position. They're going to be potentially contested by No Chance, but here it is now. Whoop, okay. I mean, definitely cars are not meant to do much on Sunhawk, but definitely not in the late game, and got absolutely lasered. Celts out in 5th position. 4 teams now remaining.
Oh, Heineken gets knocked down.
Oh, wait.
TSM Entity are pushing their way through. What did I say about TSM Entity? As a 2-man team, they can feel like a full squad, but this game is firmly in the hands of Morph. They took down Celts at the right moment. They pushed them back, and now they can focus all the teams on the west.
Now 3 teams gonna have, no, Box Gaming gonna have Morph back at it again, and TSM Entity with the 2 remaining players. It will be definitely an interesting fight to see who will be potentially taking it. 3v3v2. Morph slowly going to try and crawl their way up. But you know what? TSM Entity, they're the closest team so far. And you can definitely take a 2v3 fight and make it turn in your advantage. Now let's see. With some utility chucked out by PMI, the player of Box are going to try their best to make their way forward. But that's going to make it also predictable in the way they're going to be walking out. Grenades, if chucked properly by Morph, could put an end to that repositioning of Box Gaming. Let's see how they're going to play around this. I think that, yeah, definitely Neo is interested to see how Box are going to be pushing out. Here's the footsteps. He's going to be focused on them for now.
Aiming himself towards TSM Entity. Down on the prone play. Neo becomes a snake and gets a knockdown onto Hoya.
Wow.
And then Loy is going to get counter knocked down indeed. Nice play by TSM Entity. Neo is the last player standing. Is also the last player standing for Box. And like I said, this is all in the hands of Morph, right? They were able to sit back, relax on the eastern side, and now they got that one player left. Takes him down, and Morph Gaming get the chicken dinner.
I gotta say, Morph, how they executed that last game. You know, you might be thinking, oh,